Hey there, everybody. It's Steve back again. And saw on Facebook today on a post by Jim Cabral, hope I'm saying that right, about his deck railing that he had designed. And I thought instead of just giving it to people, we should teach people how to do it. It's because it's so very easy. So the first thing, I'm sorry, I've still got a cold after a month. First thing I'm going to do is use a Polyline solid right here and just drag it here and tab and make it 72 inches long and 3 minus 3.5. And there's that. That's going to be my top rail. So click on it, open it, make it 1.5 inches thick like a 2x4. And I'm going to make it 3 inches to the top just because I want to. Now the other thing is we're going to have a rail on top of here. And it'll be a 2x of some type. And from that, that's just a polyline, to the deck is going to be 42. So I'm going to go minus 42. Then I'm going to copy this solid and use point to point and move it to here. Now, we actually want it up higher than that, so I'm going to move it up 4 inches. This is the deck right here. That's the deck line, so we're going to be 4 inches above it. So, now that we have our Polyline Solids rails in the right place, I'm going to do a back clip cross section here. And from this, I am going to draw the little balusters. And I'm just going to click here on the end. Click. I'm drawing with a solid too, by the way. So this is a solid, and I'm just going to, now, I must have some kind of a snap on here. Yeah, there we go. You can't, with these solids, you can't always get the bottom. So if you want to do it perfect, you would do a CAD detail from view. And all you have to do really is draw a line here, maybe draw a line like this. Copy those, Command C, go back to your cross section, Command Alt V or paste and hold position. Now when you do your solid, you'll have something to click to. No, you won't. Don't know why. Let's just use a polyline, see if it'll click. No. There we go. Yes. And we're going to make this 1.5 inches. And we're going to pull it down maybe 3/4 of an inch. And pull it up 3/4 of an inch. And then let's clip the tops, and I like to sometimes just do it like this, where there's a little flat right there. So let's just take that line, draw a line, click here, use your 3 key and break it right here. Then pull this into a 45, like that. We can get rid of these lines. And now this is just a polyline, so we have to convert it. I'll use this tool down here, make it a solid, make it 1.5 inches thick, like a 2x2. And let's just take a look at this, what we got. So there you go. Now, in plan view, let's get rid of our back clip cross section. I don't think we're going to need it. What I'm going to do here next is just pull this down roughly, and then I'm going to use multiple copy, make it 5.5 inches, general objects there, and then just copy these. And that'll give me my 4-inch space in between. Now, these aren't centered on the rail, so what we need to do, sorry about that, is I draw a polyline right there and find the center of that rail, which is right there. And so you can see this polyline needs to move just a little bit So I'm going to select all these, and then I'm going to use point to point. I'm going to find that and move it right to there. And there you go. Now the balusters are centered. And if we look at our overview, it looks like a railing. It's on its back, but we'll fix that. The next thing I'm going to do is going to paint it. So if I had my painter tool, here we go. And I'm going to go here, materials, I think wood, I'm not sure. Maybe framing material. Do they have framing? Yeah, here, framing. Fir. No. That's not what I want. Let's type in fir here. There's another fir in here somewhere. This fir. Where is that located? Show in browser. Oh, softwood. Okay. We're going to paint these two things fir. And as you can see, the grain is going the wrong way. So I'm going to use the, what do they call this tool? Adjust material definition. So do this. Go to the properties tab, no, texture tab, I'm sorry. And just change this to 90. And then let's just see what happens if I paint this. It's going in the wrong direction. So what I like to do actually is I'm going to go here and say white. White exterior trim. Okay. And I'm going to paint everything that's concrete. All right. Oops. What happened here? Come on. There we go. Pick this white up and just put object and paint that. Okay. Sorry about that. And now we're ready. And the reason I like to paint the different components a different material is so that you can paint this different materials when you attach it to your rail. If everything's the one color, you cannot change the colors. I mean, they'll all paint the same. So I think that's the case anyway. So now let's make this a symbol. And I've got this little right here. We want to make it millwork. Show advanced. Go in. And as you can see, it's just laying on its backside here. So we want to rotate it on its x-axis. Now it's standing up properly. And really, that's about all it is. And then put up here pressure treated deck rail by 72 inches. And I'll show you why it's important to show that 72. Generate block and options. We'll call it a railing fence. Materials, sizing. Okay, sizing. One thing I want to do is put a height stretch plane, and I'm going to put it at 18 inches, about halfway. And thanks to Chief giving us this visual, we can see where the stretch plane is. But the reason I want to put a stretch plane there is so it doesn't distort this 45 clip up here. If we didn't, it would stretch it at the top, and that's not what we want to do. And bottom, really. So with that stretch plane, you're done and you're ready to go. It'll add it to your library. So let's go over here and wall exterior. We'll draw a little exterior wall right here, and then we'll go deck, straight deck railing. Let's open this. And let's use rail style, and we will make it rail to post to rail. Include the top rail and include, we're not going to include a bottom rail. All right. And then we are going to make these like 5.5. And 72 is what we want, the spacing. Rails. See, I don't like this about the new Chief interface, is that those are hidden. I got to drag them every time I want to change them. The top rail is 5.5. I'm going to make this 7.25, like a 2x8. And then we are going to change this panel right here. We'll use pressure treated, the one we just made. And as you can see, it comes in. And we're good to go. Let's draw that. And let's just take a look. And there you go. Everything's good to go. Now let's take this fur and paint all this. Of course, it's not going in the right direction. So I think what we have to do here is open this up and look at the materials. And we need to change this fur right here. So on this, we're going to select the material, go to Plan Materials, copy, and change this to 0, and change the name to fur, just fur, fur-90. I don't know why the other one was the way it is. So, and there you go. Now the deck rail is good. Here, here, here. It's going in the right direction. And I think we can paint the newels actually with the same material. Yeah. Now the other thing to do on this, we should have done it to begin with, is make the wall type is deck railing fence. And actually I like to just create a new one called deck railing. And it's a single layer just like this one, and I'm going to make this one 7.5. And then we are going to have to drag that same wall type here around. And then take a look at it. And as you can see now, the newels are in on the deck, like they're going to be supported back behind the face of this framing. And that's that. That's how you make one of those that Jim posted, and I hope that helps. It's just a quick panel. Now, one thing I wanted to show you here is if you change the spacing of your newels, say you make them 48, look what happens to the newels. They shrink. So when you make a panel like this, you pretty much are going to be stuck with, like if you made this 120, they get thicker. Now, it's hard to tell really, and maybe that'll work for you, but it's really when you make them smaller, or if you made them even bigger. This deck isn't big enough to make it any bigger, but you should probably make these panels and the spacing between the newels the same as this panel length to keep everything the dimension you originally drew it in. So I hope that helps. Just a quick lesson on how to make Jim's railing. And it looks pretty good. And now you can actually take this fur if you want, like here, and paint these newels. And just say everything's treated, right? So it's going the wrong direction on the face. And there's not much you can do about that. But vector view, it looks good. Standard view. So there's with some shadows, all treated, and then you can paint each component however you want. So I hope that helps. Quick lesson. Thanks, folks.